The Grand Line is a meat grinder. You have standard pirates swinging cutlasses on one side and literal island-destroying monsters on the other. When fans debate how to build the strongest possible pirate crew, they almost always make a critical error. They draft their favorites. They lean heavily on protagonist bias and canonical popularity, picking characters they like rather than analyzing objective, mathematical utility in a fight. This chart plots the reality of crew building. We have role utility on the horizontal axis and absolute combat power on the vertical. Standard picks cluster heavily in the high utility, low power corner. But to build an unbeatable crew, we need to operate exclusively up here. To access these world-ending abilities, you have to ignore standard nautical constraints entirely. You have to strip away the romanticized idea of what a pirate crew is supposed to be. Building the ultimate crew requires abandoning the concept of a found family. We are constructing a ruthless, invincible military unit. Every crew requires a seaworthy vessel and a helmsman capable of steering it through catastrophic weather. This comparison matrix measures standard of fan-favorite ships against our optimized vessel, Emperor Kaido. Kaido doesn't sail, he lifts his entire home island into the sky. You gain unmatched aerial mobility, but sacrifice passive wind travel, incurring an immense stamina cost. Because our ship is a floating landmass, standard helmsmen like Jinbei are useless. Instead, we draft Shiki. His specific devil fruit ability allows him to manipulate gravity, making him the only helmsman capable of steering a massive, levitating environment. Combine Kaido and Shiki, and your crew travels on an immense rocky fortress drifting seamlessly above the clouds. By abandoning a wooden hull for a floating landmass, the crew gains total immunity to naval fleets. They have moved the fight to an altitude where standard warships are effectively obsolete. Even a flying fortress requires precise pathfinding and rigorous structural maintenance to survive hostile territory. For navigation, traditional weather experts like Nami fail because they rely on ocean currents. Luffy of the Blackbeard Pirates takes the role. His flight and stealth capabilities functionally outclass a compass when your operation takes place exclusively in the sky. This table compares our shipwright options, Frankie's cyborg engineering on the left versus Lilith's scientific omniscience on the right. We choose the cyborg, maximizing immediate combat survivability. Abstract science is a luxury. Surviving a laser blast is a necessity. In an overpowered crew, every logistical role must double as a frontline combatant. Pure utility becomes a fatal liability the second a crew member cannot withstand a direct attack. A crew at this level requires high-end support systems, medical healing, historical translation of the poneglyphs, and morale maintenance. This decision tree evaluates medical needs. While traditional mascot doctors handle standard healing perfectly, Trafalgar Law offers a drastically different operational ceiling. His devil fruit secures the ultimate utility, the pinnacle of surgical intervention, and the potential to grant actual immortality. For archaeology, we bypass fragile Skaloki Ode. He translates the poneglyphs, but he also possesses the raw physical power to permanently scar a durable emperor. For the musician, we select Uta. She possesses the ability to inflict reality-warping crowd control. Her singing traps entire enemy fleets in an inescapable dream world before they can even draw their weapons. But there is a massive trade-off to min-maxing your support staff this way. Their reality-breaking abilities carry astronomical bounties. By choosing them, you turn your utility members into some of the highest-value assassination targets on the planet. Now we build the Vanguard, the crew's long-range sniper, close-range swordsman, and a vice-captain capable of managing the resulting chaos. Van Augur hits targets from impossible, horizon-bending distances. His accuracy enforces total spatial control over the battlefield before the enemy knows they are being tracked. Augur wields a teleportation devil fruit. Instantly repositioning yourself and allies is strategically vastly superior to relying strictly on raw mechanical aiming. For our swordsman, we reject the canonical title of World's Strongest and draft Shanks. His unparalleled Haki ceiling and 10-second future sight observation give him an undeniable tactical edge in high-stakes duels. Finally, the vice-captain. We select Prime Whitebeard to secure the highest area of effect destructive capability in history, ensuring no opposing army can swarm the front line. Housing these three specific titans creates an unmatched offensive force. It also introduces a catastrophic internal risk. Ego clashes between them fracture standard crew loyalty, turning your ship into a literal powder keg. A crew built entirely of anomalies, gods, and former emperors refuses to bow to standard leadership. They require a captain with supreme, unquestionable authority. Canonical pirate kings like Roger, Joyboy, and Rox all fail this test. Every single one of them suffered historical defeats or carried fatal physical vulnerabilities. We need the ultimate anomaly. We need Emu, the immortal dictator who has ruthlessly ruled the world from the shadows for 800 years. This is an entity of untouchable authority, commanding entire global systems from the empty throne without ever sustaining a scratch. Appointing an 800-year-old dictator as captain achieves canonical invincibility, but it comes at the highest possible cost. It destroys the core concept of piracy, officially trading the freedom of the open seas for cold, calculated totalitarianism. This brings us to the central dilemma of this exercise. Was building this mathematically perfect roster worth breaking the foundational rules of the universe? This flowchart breaks down your goal in a power scaling debate. If you value narrative synergy, loyalty, and adventure, this min-maxed strategy fails. But if your goal is absolute meta-dominance, to definitively end debates, you must fully embrace this cold, world-ending structure. Building for pure optimization is a rigid, overwhelming logistical nightmare that entirely strips the heart and soul out of the original story. The ultimate optimized crew forces you to make a permanent choice. You have to decide right now if you are evaluating a family of pirates or simply assembling a collection of weapons.